back with our first guest of this day, and it is Nite Bob.
Hello.
So you do come out in the day, is that right?
It's nighttime somewhere.
That is true.
I do come out in the day, yeah. It's actually, that whole nighttime thing in me never really worked out. It's really an exaggeration.
So how'd you get the name?
There were two guys. I had a job working in a rehearsal studio, and I did the 4 to midnight shift. The guy who did the 10 a.m. to 5 shift was also named Bob. So if you called during the crossover, they say, when they speak to Bob about a rehearsal, they go Day Bob or Night Bob.
Got
and
it.
That's the truth.
Oh, you're lucky. You got Nite Bob. I would rather be Nite Bob.
than Day Bob.
I would. I wouldn't want to be Day Bob.
You have no idea what
Yeah,
it's
Nite
like
Bob
to
is
be me.
mysterious.
Tell us. What is it like to be you?
What it's like to be me.
Yeah, what'd you do today?
What did I do today? I slept till 1. And
What time did you go to sleep?
Probably around 5 a.m.
Okay.
Working last night
Where?
at a secret recording studio, working on a secret project with a secret artist.
Can you give initials?
WB. Oh, we don't like Warner Brothers.
Whitney Bobby. Oh,
Not
Whitney
the WB
Bobby.
network. It is a performer. He's made a lot of records. I'm working on this project, and it's a lot
Good
of
for
fun.
you. Good for you. That's fine.
Definitely.
So you've been around in this industry for eternity,
Yeah, pretty much.
Eternity.
Over 40 years of this. At this
and
point.
you know what I found out? You have my grandfather's birthday. So
I also share a birthday with Richard Fortas from Guns N' Roses.
so does my grandfather.
And Dava from the She-Wolves.
I know Dava has my grandfather's birthday. That I
So,
know.
you
I'm
we're
always
all wrapped
yeah.
in together.
I love Dava. I love you, Dava. That's cool. So where'd you grow up?
In New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, and then as soon as I realized I could get out of New Jersey and come to New York, I started coming to New York.
And when did you realize that? There was no
probably when I
path
was
train
about
then.
10. Yes, there was a path
Oh,
train.
there was?
Yes, there was.
I always think of the path
Right
train
after
as
the
like
horse
this
and
new
carriage came the
invention.
path train.
So wait a minute. So the path train is like as old as the subways? I thought the path train was.
Oh, you're going to get to
That's,
dangerous
that's,
territory.
that's an interesting question that I
When
can't
did
answer.
the path train
I
start?
have no idea.
Me either. I only took it once, and I'm yeah. It was pretty nice actually. I still haven't taken the ferry. I want to take that
Oh, you
Staten
should do
Island
that.
ferry.
Have
Gotta
you
do the
done it?
ferry. Yeah, it's free.
Did you take the ferry from New Jersey?
No.
Because you can do that too, right?
I don't think they had boats then.
Now they do.
Oh, they did so because the Pilgrims met the Indians.
Really?
Yeah, and
I
that
don't
was
remember
a
that
long
at all.
time ago. And they introduced them to
they have
popcorn.
popcorn.
Yeah,
It's
So-
a religious moment.
exactly. So
Keeping religion out of reality TV now.
oh, what does religion have to do with it?
Thanksgiving.
Giving.
That was religious? I thought it was sharing food.
Don't argue with me.
I'm not.
Argue with
This
me
is
and I'll
for
walk.
Nite Bob. Don't argue with him.
So
Hear me now.
do you have any standout acts that I know you've played with? You've worked with the New York Dolls, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent. Who haven't you worked with?
I've never worked with Ozzy Osbourne,
Huh.
and I think that's a good thing.
Okay.
And I've never worked with the Who or the Rolling Stones because they're older than me.
Okay.
And no, you know, I've worked with a lot of bands that it took a while for the culture to catch up. I mean, when I worked with Iggy and the Stooges in the '70s, they were a hated band that no one would come to see. The Dolls were pretty hated too in their time, right? And then the culture catches up 30, 40 years later, and they get their payday, you know, which is, I think, it's a good thing for those who stuck around, you know, and because both those bands continually made music
Right.
in one form or another.
Right.
you know,
And you
so
make guitars too, don't
I
you?
do make guitars, yeah.
Now, do you play
Yes, I do.
like crazy?
Like crazy. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good description of the way I play.
Yeah.
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 So I like breaking boundaries and breaking guitars. And
So you do break? You like breaking them?
Oh yeah.
So
It's
if
the best feeling in the world.
to just
you
go
know, it's
like El
when
Kabong,
when you take a tool and smash it, it means you don't need it.
right?
You know?
Well, if you know you can make another one, right?
Well, I have a lot of them, you know, so it's part of the fun aspect because it pisses people off.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have a good guitar and you watch me break a good guitar, I gotta say though, I don't play out very much.
Okay.
I didn't
Right.
even know that you made guitars.
Oh, well, see, it's a
You
big.
did
It's not
some
really.
good digging here.
Yeah.
Rue-
Yeah, there you go,
Yeah.
Frankie.
You can't afford me.
So what do you charge? What do you charge?
No. It's like playing out is. I do it very rarely, and it has to be in a certain situation with people that I like to play with. It's like I'm not a jamming person. I don't go sit in or anything like that.
So what's a favorite song you like to play?
Songs that we write. I had a band called Sound God, right, that was made of all sound engineers.
Oh.
It's a complete nightmare band. Right?
Because nothing ever
Because-
sounded good enough, right?
Well, no, it's just that we
Ah.
decided that we didn't trust anybody, and we would just play as loud as humanly possible.
And where did you do this?
Don Hills.
Okay.
At Don Hills, because it was convenient. I live a block away,
Okay.
so I could bring over a ton of amplifiers.
You do like staying close to Jersey.
No, not really. I
Well,
hardly ever go there.
But Don Hills is kind of close. If you're going to live, it's like all
Yeah,
the
you
way
say the
west. You
Empire
can even
State
see
Museum,
it,
you know,
right?
it's like, I
I'm
don't
just
like going
kidding.
there.
I'm not
I
serious.
don't like it.
But it's so west Don Hills, right? That's what I mean.
It's pretty west.
Like you can
know.
see New Jersey from there, right?
Yeah, but with all the new condominiums, you can't see anything.
Ah.
It's like Tribeca has crept into my neighborhood, which is kind of a drag.
Well, you probably have the better rent.
I own my place.
Good for
So
you.
it's like
Good for
it's
you.
way better than renting. Yeah.
So, do you have any Ted Nugent? Do you have any? I think I saw him. Yeah, tell me a Ted Nugent story. I think I saw him opening for Frank
I'm going
Zappa.
to tell you a story that is pretty interesting. I think that out of all the musicians I worked for, Ted Nugent was probably the best parent out of any of them. When he divorced his first wife, he somehow rigged it that his kids would stay in the family home, and the mother and father would come out in different shifts, so they would be able to grow up with a stable, like, high school thing. It wasn't like they're moving to Florida, moving back to Michigan, blah, 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 blah. And up until their teenage years, every day off he would fly home to be with them, so that there was a parental figure in their lives.
Oh, and how are his kids today? Do you know?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean,
Do they go hunting with him?
I don't think so. I went hunting with him.
Yeah,
It
what
was-
happened? Did
it
you
was
catch
like
anything?
Yeah, well, me and his brother, we couldn't take it seriously,
Right.
right? Because we didn't want to kill anything.
Good for
right?
you.
So we would just waste bullets and shoot at things. He'd get really mad. You're wasting ammunition. And we're like, oh, let's shoot that TV set.
Did he kill anything?
Oh, I'm sure he did. We wouldn't stick around. He'd be flopping around in the mud chasing some animals somewhere.
And where was this?
Well, up on his ranch up in Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I must say though, he does eat everything he kills.
Oh.
So
Does he cook it?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I got video of him cooking up stuff.
Like, how does he cook it? Like on a big
Oh,
fire? Like.
no, yeah, he kind of likes that. Yeah.
Yeah?
It's
So is
like-
he a hillbilly?
I wouldn't call him a hillbilly. He's pretty much like a standard Michigan kind of person. It's part of their lifestyle.
In Michigan?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. All that Midwestern stuff. They
Yeah,
like to
that's
go out
true.
and,
All those
yeah.
flatland and the
Yeah,
farms and the.
it's like, why go to the supermarket when you go out in the backyard and knock off something?
Yeah, I mean, even in
Seriously.
Westchester now, you should see the amount of turkey. I mean, you could really
Turkeys?
Turkeys, yes.
They run wild?
They're wild turkeys.
Wild
You
turkey.
can literally sustain yourself from the backyard.
We got it at the
45
bar at Otto's.
I'll have a
40
shot now.
minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I am not kidding you. 40 minutes outside of New York City, you could sustain yourself off the backyard. I'm not kidding. Turkeys.
Wow. Well, I know I saw too many deer
Deer,
driving to
everything.
Ohio. I never
Bear.
saw so many dead deer in my life.
It's unbelievable.
The cars are taking care of it.
Try driving to Woodstock.
Yeah, I have.
Deer everywhere.
I saw more on that road through Pennsylvania. But besides that, so who have you produced?
I don't want to talk about it. I produced a lot of bands in the '90s, New York bands that none of them really stuck around. I did the Trick Babies. I did the first couple Toilet Boys records.
Okay.
I did FF.
I know they just opened for Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I did that show.
How was it?
It was pretty good, man.
Yeah?
I thought the Toilet Boys are great. And
They
I
are
left
great.
I left after 3 songs of Guns N' Roses.
Wow.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah.
So which night was that? That was at
Webster
the
Hall.
Ritz. The Ritz for the night. Yeah, I
Ritz for
used
the
to work
night,
at the
and
Ritz.
it's
I know. It was funny. I wanted to steal one of those signs,
Did you
but
go to that show?
I didn't go.
Yeah,
But I
didn't
know
miss
it was really.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
But the Toilet Boys rocked.
Toilet Boys were great.
Good. So we like to ask for a skeleton from your closet, and it is National Cherry Day, and we got some sour cherries. So you get to have a yummy cherry.
What kind of skeleton would you like? Musically related? Drug related?
Drug related.
Drug related.
Yeah. you talked enough about music
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
I want to hear
Let me
drug
think
related.
stories. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think about that. What I can say without getting sued.
Yeah, exactly. No no lawsuits.
Oh, you know, it was like when I worked with Aerosmith during the drug phase, right? It was all about cocaine and all about who had it and how we could get it.
Right.
Right. So us guys on the crew who weren't making as much money as the band, and they were always coming to us because they didn't know how to find their own drugs. They'd come to us. So what we would do is we had this thing called the 2-vial technique, where you would have a vial, your stash, you put that in your left pocket, right, in your jeans. Your right pocket, you put one that was like 90% empty. So when they hit you up, which they would do every day, you got anything? You go like, oh, I got this.
Good for
and
you,
they go,
Nite
"Wait,"
Bob.
and they would go like, that's all you have? I go, yeah, you're welcome to it. And they go, oh, well, I'll hook you up, right? So then they would fill your bottle up, right? And they go, score.
Have some cherries, baby. Yeah. That's okay. They're flying.
Flying
That is
everywhere.
a good
And that's
one.
the truth.
Oh.
That's the truth. I actually said that in a national magazine, and several members from that band called me up and went, I can't believe
Fuck you.
you
Right,
did
right,
that.
right.
that you ran a scam on me.
That's so funny. So do you have any shout outs? Like do you have any websites that you're promoting or
I have my own website, which is nitebob.com, which is very skeletal right now, speaking of skeletons in the
Okay.
closet, because I just don't have the time to really do much. But it's got some fun pictures and a couple of guitars and stuff like that. But there'll be more to come.
Oh, good.
Right, I've got clips, I've got, audio stuff, I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to upload soon.
Any Ted Nugent hunting experiences?
I thought about putting up some of the hunt. I actually don't have him hunting, I have him cooking. And
That's
I
good.
was like going, this could be like, the start of the Ted Nugent cooking show on the
Exactly.
Food Network.
Exactly.
So
I could definitely see him doing
but
that.
he's definitely good at it. I mean, like he would do things like he'd call up and say, I was on my way to the airport and I saw these squirrels, so I shot them.
Ah.
Right? He goes, I loaded them up in a bag of ice, Bob. You should have seen the look at the airport when that bag of ice went through the X-ray machine with those 4 squirrels in there. I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? He goes, I need a hot plate, garlic and butter. We're eating squirrel tonight.
You know, that's pretty funny.
That's the truth.
I believe it. I heard Letterman talking about Central Park's squirrels last night with the people that
And it
cook
was
on the
really
street.
good. It was really good.
Yeah. Wow.
It was fresh.
So you're game, ha ha, and you eat game.
You have to live life.
I agree.
You can't say no. You gotta try it at least once. I mean, it's like I've been lucky in this lifestyle to go just about everywhere you could do a rock show.
Good
you
for
know,
you.
And I know too many people who will go to a faraway country and the first thing they do is look for the nearest McDonald's.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I've been to places where they brought you. They go, your soup, and there's a fish swimming around in your soup. I'm like, oh, I don't know about.
Where
that.
was that?
That was in Korea.
And so you didn't do it?
I wasn't about. I said I think I'm gonna pass on the
So
soup.
yeah,
you know, so,
exactly. Well, thank you.
Live fish. So
Well,
there you go.
we would love for you to come and share stories anytime.
Well, no, I'm around.
I'm so glad
I'm around.
to know that.
Summer's the hardest time for me because I'm usually gone.
Well, maybe in summer we'll have winter because it's pretty nice.
maybe I'll
out
send
right
you a
now.
video clip of being somewhere eating something.
Oh, we would love that.
bizarre
We
or
would love
something
that.
like that, because that's always it's always an adventure somewhere. And believe it or not, a lot of people who tour have become like, food people.
Well, I'm always a
I
food
mean, like
person.
Alton Brown is a big fan. He's come to a bunch of shows that I've done, and he always knows that there's somewhere good to eat.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
and
for inviting
we
me.
got to
It's
go
great
out
to
to
be here.
eat. Yes, and we will be back on ReW WhO.
There you
Yes,
go.
today.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Now, baby.